It's Friday, June 10th. Coming up on a special edition of The View. Get a first-hand view of everything your kids are seeing, hearing, and dealing with every day. First, school's out, and kids are ready to party. So we're exposing the dangerous trend of extreme teen drinking, new ways kids are getting high, and the warning signs that parents need to look out for. Then, Nick Jonas is giving you the real deal about rumors the Jonas Brothers are splitting up and how he's making a kid's dreams of singing stardom come true. Plus, we're unveiling the coolest electronics, toys, and gadgets that kids, tweens, and teens want this summer. And Disney Channel superstars Lemonade Mouth are hitting the stage to perform their smash hit, Determinate. All that, hot topics, and more, coming on The View.
To The View. Today is all about letting parents in on what kids are up to and into these days, because that's one of the things we like to do. So here's a question. A mom on our staff was recently at a family party and thought that a lot of the young girls there were dressed kind of sluttishly with the little tiny skirts and shorts and stuff, and she wasn't sure what to say. But would you tell a parent if you saw their child inappropriately dressed or what you thought was inappropriately dressed? Would you tell them?
Absolutely. I think that's where it comes in, as it takes a village to raise a child. And I think, you know, for me, I would go to the parent.
But the whole village is dressed like that.
Well, hopefully the whole village has some concerned parents. But I get, if it was you, I'd say, you know, if this is something that's cool with you, this is something I observed. And if it's cool with you, I will never say anything again. But
the real thing is, how do you get your own child not to dress like that?
Well, I think
when everybody else is.
I know, and a lot of my friends are going through this too, where there's got to be that, there's a lot of compromise, you know what I mean, where both parties, I should say neither party is actually happy at the end, you know, in terms of either bathing suit shopping or skirt shopping. I think, I'm not so sure. I think you want to, because you want your kids to be able to express themselves, right? But you want them to do it in a way that doesn't put them or make other people judge them. I think a lot of the time, though, parents sometimes are worried what people think of them as parents when their kids are dressing a certain way.
But, you know, I remember when my parents were very strict. You know, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. They were very strict. So I would tell my mother that I was going babysitting. My girlfriends would pick me up to go to the nightclub. I would hide the clothes in the bushes that I was going to wear. So I would leave with a big shirt on and jeans. I would go change in the laundry room, come out looking like a short everything. And that's when Pretty Woman was out. So I had the thigh-high boots and everything. And I remember my mom found out and I came to change and she had taken my clothes out of the bushes.
What did you wear when you were knocking on all those doors?
Oh, you meant on Jehovah's Witness? Yeah. I used to wear like a little lace collar and a long dress.
The other thing, maybe it would have worked.
Maybe I would have.
Well, I got to tell you, you know, with grandkids, I mean, you know, the evolution of what kids wear. You know, when my daughter was little, Madonna was in, so all the kids had on bustiers, you know, and the little strange little things, and you'd kind of go, wow, man. And I realized at one point that I had to let her go out dressed like that.
Because what?
She only did it once. She only did it once.
Why?
I said, you going like that? She said, yeah. I was like, okay. She went out. She called about 2 hours later, said, it's cold. I need a jacket. I said, well, a jacket's not going to look right with that outfit. I think you're just going to have to roll with what you have on. And she's like, okay. She was home 2 hours earlier than I expected her, because what she discovered was it's fine in the house. It looks good in the house. But when a chilly breeze comes up, you're not as comfortable. And so and because of it, that's how she's raised her daughter. Because my mom would say to me, is that skirt going to get any shorter? Because, you know, I come from the miniskirt time, when a miniskirt was like a real miniskirt. You know, where you could see action going on all over the place.
Back everywhere.
I'm telling you, you couldn't sneeze. Yeah. You know, but the dresses were so short, and you know, we wore these things, and she said to me, you know what? You go ahead. If that's how you want, if you're comfortable, go
But
ahead.
something to be
What if
said for
someone said
doing
something
that.
to you about it, right? Like, what if your friend said to you, okay, you know what, the way she's dressed is a little
Can I tell you
over
a
the
very
top.
fast story? When I was a teenager, I had a great friend who is still a great friend to me called Rosie Romero. And we were going to see Romeo and Juliet, okay? And I had on my overalls, because I was a hippie. Big hair, overalls, you know, just kind of looking like this. And Rosie was like pressed, like you guys are pressed. And she came down and we were gonna go to the movies and she said, I'm not going with you looking like that. And I went, what do you mean? I'm clean. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me. And she said, I'm not going with you. If you want to go to the movies with me, you can't be dressed like that. And I kind of looked to my mom, and she just kind of looked away. So I said, then I guess we're not going to go to the movies. So I didn't go. And I said to my mom, should I have changed? And she said, is there anything wrong with what you're wearing as you're looking at yourself? I said, no. She said, then should you have changed? And I said, I guess not. She said, if you're gonna stand up for what you believe in, you got to be ready for people to walk away from you. It was the best thing she ever said to me.
But you're still friends with her.
Oh, Rosie, oh, hell yeah. You know,
How'd you work that out?
we just got older and it was okay. And I wasn't a hippie and she wasn't so straight-laced and it turned out well. But let me ask you this. The 14-year-old star of True Grit, the fabulous Haley Steinfeld, is set to star in the new film version of Romeo and Juliet. Now, the script calls for her to appear nude in a love scene. Now, people are kind of freaking out because she's young. Now, the
14.
director...
Who's directing it? Roman Polanski?
Actually, no. Our brilliant director is directing it, Julian Fowles.
It's interesting. I mean, 14 years old, I thought that anything that showed a child under 18 with no clothes on in a nude scene was like child pornography. I think...
Well, generally what they do in the films is they'll get a body double.
But it's still
They'll double her.
It would be a bottle double for Haley.
Yeah,
for
body
14.
double for... Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah.
assumption is you still are trying to
Still
make
think
me
it's Haley.
think it's a 14-year-old actress.
Unless they scroll across the screen, body double, I think there's something wrong.
Yeah,
I think
I
unless
The
you're giving
director or the
image of it.
writer is saying that this is the way in Shakespearean times, a 14-year-old girl was Juliet.
A boy played a girl.
A boy played a girl, but it was a 14-year-old.
So if you're going to stay true to the art, then why have
Cast
a
a
woman
boy.
play the woman?
That's true.
And
that's a very good point.
you're either getting biblical about it or not, you know. So why halfway? Is my
Also,
question.
there are many actresses who are in their 20s who look 14. I'll find out who they are. Give them the job.
But it's like, yeah, he said he wanted somebody age appropriate, but it just seems like, you know, how do you teach your child not to do crazy stuff when you allow them to do something like that?
Well,
But I mean, aside from the lesson being taught to the world through this film, I mean, what about the actual girl involved? What about this Haley? Why isn't anyone stepping up to protect
we
her?
don't know
She's
that
14.
we don't know that no one is stepping up to protect her. We don't know really more than what we've just heard about the fact that she may play this. But, you know, one of the things that Hollywood does not allow is they don't allow children to appear nude. That's why they get the adult body doubles, and most people know that. However, in Shakespeare's time, women were not allowed to be actors.
Yeah,
that's why
that's right.
boys had to play it. So that's why they're going now
but
to
to
try
her
to
point-
get
No, but if
girls.
he's using it to justify her assuming or letting us presume she's nude based on the fact that that's how Shakespeare did it. If that's how
She
it
wasn't. Well, she
boy.
wasn't nude. She was not nude. She's wearing you know, like the kind of shifts that they would wear, and I'm sure she'll be in bed as she is supposed to be with Romeo, talking about what's going on. I don't think
her
it's a
being
sex
14
scene.
and them about to make love, you know, like this, because in the
that's
thing
what
she's
it was.
slowly taking each other's clothes off, and it's that whole sexualizing of a girl.
except-
who's-
but- but-
14.
I hear you.
But
I know.
remember that 14 in Shakespeare's day was a grown woman,
Well, that
pretty
was-
much.
that was
talking
30
about.
or
There wasn't
40.
HD.
So
There
that
wasn't a
was-
lot. I mean, I
well,
don't
no,
think
there
you can
wasn't
say you're
HD,
staying true to form
but
if you're
then
not.
that means that no art can be done. We can't show any of the Botticelli.
No, I mean-
You know who I'm
Andrea
talking about.
Bocelli naked, I've never seen that.
No, but I wouldn't mind. But we'll keep you posted because it's art versus reality versus what is right, and who knows? Do we know? We don't know nothing except that we're going and coming back and finding out what dangerous trends in teenage drinking and drug use you need to know about.
Coming up, School's out, and kids are ready to party. So we're exposing the dangerous trend of extreme teen drinking, new ways kids are getting high, and the warning signs that parents need to look out for. Then, Nick Jonas is giving you the real deal about rumors the Jonas Brothers are splitting up, and how he's making a kid's dreams of singing stardom come true. Plus, we're unveiling the coolest electronics, toys, and gadgets that kids, tweens, and teens want this summer. And Disney Channel superstars Lemonade Mouth are hitting the stage to perform their smash hit, Determinate.
This Sunday's Parade magazine looks at a teen trend called extreme drinking, and there are new and legal ways kids are getting high these days. So we wanted to give parents a bit of a heads up with some help from drug education specialist Jeff Wolfsberg. Hello, Jeff.
Good morning.
Welcome to The View.
Thanks.
So we're going to talk about the article in a minute, but first you bring a unique perspective to this kind of hot topic because you struggled with addiction for a large part of your life.
Yes,
also.
I did.
You're doing pretty well now. You look good.
Okay, good.
So tell everybody your story quickly, please.
Well, I think in some ways I eliminate the myth of a certain type of teenager going down the path. I mean, when I was in high school, I was a class president, I was an athlete, I was well-liked by faculty. It was a small town, we all knew each other. So I didn't fit that mold.
Right.
I mean, every day when I drove into the entrance of our high school, there was always that 30 kids across the street smoking cigarettes.
Right.
And my mom would say, you know, those are the ones we're worrying about, you know.
Right.
There I was in the car with my friends drinking probably more than those people.
Right.
So I think the cautionary tale in my story is that everybody's susceptible to this, and that parents, regardless of how well your kids are doing, you always have to be aware, you know.
And you now spend your time going all around the country, really educating and talking to kids, parents, et cetera, about drugs and alcohol and the consequences, et cetera. On average, when, in your estimation, when does a kid take their first drink?
Well, when we started measuring this, it was around 18 years old, when we first started measuring what we call age of first use. Now it's close to 13 years old.
So when did you start measuring it?
In the 70s is when we started measuring it. Now we look at it every other year through different stages. Around 13, so you're looking at middle school now. Yeah.
Difference between boys and girls at all? When how much they drink? And can you explain binge drinking versus...
Yeah, there used to be, for years, a gender gap regarding boys and girls drinking. That gap is gone. As a matter of fact, in some measurable ages, girls are out drinking boys, which is really scary.
And they're binge drinking. Difference between the kids who do drink and the kids who don't? There are some that don't.
Yeah, you know,
what's the difference?
That's an important thing because I think there's so much emphasis given to the drinkers and the drug users and the kids that cause problems. We overlook this, and I think in some schools, a majority of kids who don't drink and don't get high.
The majority do not.
Absolutely. The problem is in our culture, we don't celebrate that. Kids wouldn't come to school on Monday morning. Man, I was unbelievably conscious Saturday night. I was weighing the pros and cons of bad and making the right choice. And people are like, that was awesome, high-fiving the person.
But there are plenty of these good kids who don't do it, who do not succumb to the peer pressure, and who basically don't.
Right.
So maybe people should talk more about how they did it.
Well, usually when you find that kid who doesn't use, what's behind that is a strong parenting team or a strong parent for the single parents. You know, I used to work in a drug rehab center for years, and when the parents would come in on the Sunday family visits, it's really no secret when you're looking at these parents, like where the ball has been dropped.
You know, I know sometimes I'll hear the teens that, this weekend I got, you know. What are the long-term damages from the binge drinking? I don't think they think there's any damage.
Well, I think the long-term damage is, you know, going to Elizabeth's earlier question, which is we know the younger kids start drinking and using other drugs, the higher the risk for addiction. So that's the startling marker that worries us about this 13 years old. So
probably true for smokers, too.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But let me ask you this question.
The biggest problem I worry about with early drinking is the long-term dependency on alcohol and other drugs.
Well, and also the decision-making at that point, if then under the influence, of course, is going to be skewed as well.
There are already brain issues involved in bad decision-making as teenagers. Now you throw in an intoxicant and you get more trouble.
So what about this thing we've been hearing about now, the super caffeinated drinks that have alcohol in them?
Right.
Like, how concerning are these drinks and why are they out there?
I'm really concerned about them because they're not going away. It's not a novelty. It's not a trend. There are big companies with big budgets behind this. They're not going to just stop producing these things. The other things we'll talk about, like salvia and spice, and they'll come and they'll go. Right. This will not.
What is drunkorexia? What is that?
Drunkorexia is a slang term in college campuses right now, where a girl who knows she's going out Saturday night and knows she's going to consume a lot of calories in liquid form will not eat all day long. So they go out and they can get drunk very quickly because they're on an empty stomach and cheaply, absolutely, and not consume a lot of calories. So this is, a disastrous event because we know any one of us who drinks in a healthy manner knows combining alcohol and food together is wise.
Yeah. So now, besides we got the underage drinking, let's talk about some drugs that parents need to worry about. Okay. The first one is called spice, or K2. Now, what is that, and what does it do? Well, spice is the problem with these trends is it's a lot of things. And it's hard to kind of nail down what it really is. When you look at spice, there's so many different variations. K2, spice, and there's probably a dozen other names. They're basically organic matter that has been coated with a synthetic chemical. That's where we get fake pot from, or synthetic weed. The chemical started off as something called JW-018. The DEA jumped in, they banned that, they restructured the chemical. So it's always like a little game going on with the manufacturers.
But it's tricky because it's being sold as incense. I remember doing a piece for GMA on this. There's no regulation. No. They're not even carding kids that go in to buy this at all. The danger is it's laced with all these chemicals, and it's a compound effect on their bodies, right?
Absolutely. And we're seeing, when you start getting your data about drugs from poison control, ERs, law enforcement, psychiatric facilities, and that's where we're getting our data. When you start getting your data from those places, you need to be worried. Yeah, and that's what's happening with spice.
There's another thing, too, that I was hearing over the weekend. Bath salts is something that kids are using.
Right.
How are they, where are they, are these like actual bath salts?
No,
and
this
what
is
are
not
they?
The stuff that's at the spa that we're sprinkling in around us and going.
And what are they doing with these?
That's not the same stuff. We're not high at the spa. These are labeled as bath salts, but again, variety of different chemicals in them, coming in a white powder, labeled different things. I saw one the other day called pink bubbles.
Right.
And the packaging is very kind of adolescent-centric, so it's bright colors. It could be sitting on your own teenager's dresser, and you wouldn't even give it a second glance. Well, there's a lot of different chemicals in there. They primarily snort it. Yeah. And what happens is there's cases of overdose, there's cases of psychosis where people have taken their lives, but outbursts of violence, a psychosis lasting for days, you name it. It's a terrible phenomenon. But they get around a lot of these things by labeling these packages not for human consumption. Yeah. So that dodges the FDA scrutiny. That's how they get around it. We talked about it at the table before. Miley Cyrus got some pictures, and she said it was salvia. Yeah, salvia. Right, what is salvia? What does salvia do?
It's not a kid from my old neighborhood either.
Not Salvador, salvia.
Salvio. These drugs come and go. They have a novelty cycle, unlike the energy drinks with alcohol. The novelty cycle for salvia, I think we're on the other end of it. It is a organic substance, again, coming out of Mexico. It's used in religious ceremonies they call it the divine sage. All right. It's smoked, much like you would marijuana in a pipe or rolled up in a joint. And it causes, it's been compared to LSD and mushrooms in its hallucinogenic powers, but it's very short acting, so 8 to 15 minutes.
So you're saying, but it does nothing, it doesn't damage your system at all?
And the problem with salvia, spice, basil, we know nothing about these things. There's no research. And when you track it back to the researchers, and I've talked to these people, they will say to you, this is nuts if you take this stuff. It was never intended to be consumed.
So thank you for hanging with us. Come see us again. We're going to go and come right back, and when we do, we're bringing back Nick Jonas.
Have you or your family members never left your state or traveled much outside your state? Well, pack your bags because The View and Chevrolet want to help you escape with a road trip of a lifetime. Submit a video telling us your story, like which state you're stuck in and why, at abc.com/theview. One group of friends or a family will win a road trip to The View Studios in New York City this summer. Go to abc.com/theview and enter now. Brought to you by Chevrolet.
Bring the chorus around.
right now, and then I want you to cover your ears. Are you ready?
Oh, my God.
Please welcome Nick Jonas! The decibel level of your fans, Nick. Can everybody hear? Is everybody ear okay?
It's like
You talking to me?
Oh, sorry about that.
Are you speaking to me?
Yeah, we lost Whoopi for a minute with him here. You know, it's so nice to have you here, but we're so used to seeing you with your brothers, Kevin and Joe. So it's just really good. How are you? How are your brothers?
I'm good. I'm really blessed, happy to be here today. It's amazing to be here among all these fans and these people in this room. And
It's so funny. You're so quiet, and everybody's so loud.
Oh.
We're all like this.
But wait, Kevin's married,
Kevin is married. He's with his wife in New Jersey.
and Joe's working on a solo album.
Joe just released his single. It's
So-
great. I'm excited for him.
Jonas Brothers no more? Like,
No.
or-
We're just taking some time to do some individual projects and enjoy kind of that journey that each of us are on. And it's exciting. You know, we're all doing different things and you know, kind of taking those experiences, knowing we'll come back and do something soon.
I got a lot of young girls backstage who are in here. They're screaming. I have to ask you: are you dating anybody?
Oh boy, you know, this is a question that I always try to avoid, but I think the thing is I'm in a really good place right now as far as my personal life goes, and I usually keep.
I love this answer.
Joe's very
the
He's
details
smart.
of my
He's
relationship
smart.
to myself.
So I have a question for you, because I understand you are a Broadway baby. You are a Broadway man. So you did Les Mis. You went over to London. You did Les Mis. How was that? That's what I hear.
So that was this past year, back in October. I did the 25th anniversary in London.
That was your dream role, though, right?
It was. I did the show when I was 11, and here in New York. I did 3 other shows, and I actually did Christmas Carol, and Get Your Gun, Beauty and the Beast. I did it with Frank Langella and some other people, and it was just a beautiful experience.
I remember that.
I have to say this. I can absolutely understand why your brothers. You're the youngest, but I can understand why your brothers call you Mr. President. You have such. I mean, his whole demeanor when he talks, and I'm not in a business. And
Are you going into politics?
I would like to.
I mean, you totally see it.
kidding.
I mean, it seems like you're a natural leader. They say you're
2040.
natural.
That's the year.
Okay.
2040 is
out.
when you're gonna run. Listen, you heard it first. I don't know what your platform would be.
Taking it slow. I got a lot of time to figure that one out.
Well, it's so funny because, like I said, you're the youngest, but you've actually, you write your own music. You have been acting and been in the business longer than your brothers. What was your first acting job?
My first acting job was A Christmas Carol here in New York.
Oh, really?
It was a beautiful experience. I was 7 at the time. I think that's the thing that is so interesting is that was now 11 years ago, and
I feel like I want to say Mr. President. The way Nick is acting.
How old are you now?
I'm 18.
18. Oh.
Yeah, so that was 11 years ago, and I feel like I've had the blessing of having some great experiences in this business and starting at a young age and. Really enjoying each step of the way and kind of learning a lot along the way and working with some great people as well.
Well, you were a young performer. You're a very young performer. You started very young. We were talking about that in the Hot Topics about this little Steinfeld girl who's going to be possibly naked in a movie at the age of 14. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's really my place to judge. I'm a fan of the work she did in True Grit. I think that, she was unbelievable in that movie. And I haven't had the chance to meet her yet, but from what I hear, she's a really sweet girl.
Would you do it?
Would I do it? I can tell you this. I would not have done it at 14.
Not at 14.
You know, Nick, I know I'm type 2 diabetic, and I know that you were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. I do check my blood 3 times a day, but you have to check your blood level up to 12 times a day. It's a drag sometimes having diabetes. What do you have to go through? How do you feel about that?
It's a day-to-day struggle. I was diagnosed when I was 13. We were in the middle of a tour, and I started to see the symptoms.
You have an insulin pump, right?
I do. I have it in my back pocket. I wear it all the time, and started to see the symptoms of diabetes, and went to the doctor and found out that my blood sugar was over 700.
Oh my God!
And it's got to be 70 to 120, and so it was definitely a tough time in my life. And I look back at it now, and I see it as an opportunity to speak to other people who deal with this, and to look at it with a good outlook, and that's all you can do. But it is tough.
I just had to. I know you have to do this question, but I wanted to know because I know you're a sci-fi fan.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Are you planning to make any sci-fi movies? Are you writing anything? What's happening?
I would love to. I mean, as far as acting goes, the only thing I've done really so far is just some musical theater stuff and some TV projects with my brothers. So any acting opportunity that comes up would be amazing. But I'm a big fan. But it seems all my favorite shows get canceled the minute I start to really get into it. I feel like I'm cursed or something.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
It was basically started with, and it wasn't a sci-fi show, but the show called Jack and Bobby that I fell in love with about. Oh, it was so good. And then, you know, obviously Heroes and Flash Forward, all that. So those are all big ones.
I want to ask you something because I know we got a lot of tweens and teens here waiting for Lemonade Mouth to perform, but you are involved in something which can make somebody a star. Can you tell us about that?
Well, teamed up with Quaker Chewy to basically find the next superstar, ages 8 to 14, and you can submit a video of yourself singing. And I'm going to work with Quaker to find the next superstar and produce a song for them. My focus this year has been writing, producing for other artists. And so basically looking for someone that was, you know, or is as passionate about music as I was at that age. And hopefully, you know, we'll find a star, someone that can have a long-lasting career.
What a chance. What a chance for somebody.
Well, Nick, thank you so much. We want to thank Nick Jonas. We are going to be right back.
An awesome gift, or you just want to get them out of your hair for a bit, we are finding out the hottest gadgets they will love from Dr. Gadget himself. Dave Detman is in the house.
How are you? Good to see you. You guys ready to have some fun?
Oh yeah, they are. I love this. So, okay, first of all, this is from Hot Wheels, right?
Yeah, for the first time ever, Hot Wheels, this is the Hot Wheel Video Racer. They have actually put a video camera inside the car, so you can actually experience what it's like to drive your own Hot Wheel car going down the track right there.
That is so cool.
So the video that we have here, this actually shows what we just shot. Videotape that, and up on the left you can actually see what was loaded, and you can actually put it up into your computer if you want, right?
Wow.
So if you, and you can actually see, if you do not have a computer at home, you can actually videotape and watch it underneath the car.
Oh
and
my God.
It's really kind of cool. You can put it on your wrist, you can put it on your bicycle, go out and videotape everything, get on and have some fun.
All right, that is a good time. All right, these TVs, undeniably cool.
You're gonna love this.
I mean, basketball is
Look at the basketball
These
TV.
are really cool. These are lifestyle TVs. These are the Hans Spree HD lifestyle TVs. Now, this is a really cool way for you guys to kind of fill that desire to purchase a second TV and an HDTV, good quality HD TV, but also kind of get that touch of that designer, that fashionista in there.
Well,
because now you've got the unique lifestyle. If you can see the animal prints.
Yes. Are these interchangeable?
No, they're not interchangeable. If you notice the attention to detail on the apple and the stem and the leaves, this is real leather from a basketball, on the TV, right? And these animal prints I really dig because it doesn't make you kind of feel like the kids in the Wild Kingdom or something.
This is just wild.
Yeah, these are 19-inch all the way up to 55-inch, but it's really an attention to like
starting about $500
design.
or
No, actually from $249 upwards of $299.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
So it's really be good. Now these are really fun.
Okay, so this is, what is this a phone?
This is really cool. I think
something?
this is one of the best ways for the kids to communicate this summer because everybody's into Facebook and Twitter, but this allows you to actually have multiple files open at the same time. These little apps allow you to be on there. You can order a movie from Facebook, right? Order the tickets, look at the time, go to Facebook, invite all your friends, give them the calendar event, but you don't have to leave the screen because every one of these multiple apps actually allow you to do it, and you're kind of multitasking.
And can I monitor everything that they're doing on here at this
Yeah, well,
time?
not only that, you know what you can also do, Elizabeth? You can actually, after you've booked the movie, you can actually book dinner reservations and go to Google Maps or something, actually download the GPS route, send it to all your friends on Facebook, get it up on Twitter, and guess what? It's all right. It's right there. It's the size of a credit card. It's the size of a credit card.
I mean, look at that. It's so tiny.
And the charger is actually an inductive charger, magnetic charger, and it literally is the sign of a credit card. And you know, it's really
adorable.
It's tiny, but it's powerful, right?
It is.
Kids can use this. Love it.
Yeah, this is the HP Veer, which I actually love.
And now you rep this next company.
Now you guys
correct?
are gonna love this. This is the 3M Shoot and Share. This is an HD video camera, okay, with a built-in projector. So what we're gonna do right here.
Come on, that's so cool.
So now you can actually shoot and share all your videos
No way.
On the wall.
Oh, I
You
love
put it on the wall.
Yeah. You know what you can do?
Wow.
You can go out today, take the kids out to the park, shoot a movie, take your digital photos,
Get your popcorn ready.
Get your
I
popcorn.
like
You
it.
know, go home tonight. Put it up on the refrigerator.
Great.
Put it up on the garage door.
Oh, how fun. I love it. Okay.
And you can actually download everything that you've captured too and put it up on your PC and capture those moments forever.
Too good to be
great.
true. Okay, these have got to be some of the coolest things right now for the summer, right?
This is really cool. You guys are gonna dig this. This is the Radiate Skate, okay? Now these are high-performance skateboards. They're made out of Canadian maple, which is really good quality, but you can actually ride the light now because they actually have LED lights integrated into the board, okay? Comes with a lithium battery.
You represent this product, right?
I do. This comes with a lithium battery and a charger, and if you guys can see all these colors, now you got a disco on wheels out in the park. And do not, by the way, please remember, wear your helmet when you go on a skateboard.
Helmet, that's right.
By the way, these are only $89.
This is a really fun gift. That is fun. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
This right here.
This is like an up on the traditional bike. So we're talking about
this is a transit. This is the next evolution of human-powered transportation. This is the Zyke. The magic is in the motion right here. This is actually a stair stepper on wheels. A stair stepper on wheels. All right? So I want you guys to get out. I want you guys to get out with your family, with your kids. These range from $249 to $299. And guess what? There's no excuse. And childhood obesity, this is big for me. Childhood obesity doesn't stand a chance if everybody had a Zyke. This is a stair stepper on wheels.
Well, and the great thing is that you can do it and the kids can do it. They have all of these sizes. I love the idea. Hey, Dave, let me ask you something. Are all of these products available now, or do we have to wait for them?
They're all available. You know what's really cool? They're available today because you guys are all taking them home.
That is good news. Hey, our thanks to Dr. Gadget. For more information on any of these products, just log on to our website. We'll be right back with Disney Channel superstars Lemonade Mouth. That is cool. Good job. Disney Channel film about kids who meet at detention and form a band and has blown up into the #1 cable movie of the year, a smash hit CD and a DVD that millions of fans have been waiting for. And here to perform their hit song, Determinate, please welcome Lemonade Mouth.
Trying hard to fight these tears, I'm crazy worried. Messing with my head this fear, I'm so sorry. You know you gotta get it out, I can't take it. That's what being friends about.
Do it. You gotta turn the world into your dance floor. Determinate. head and try to name a band. We ain't better than. The whole world's picking us instead of them. People need to breathe because they feeling that adrenaline. Yeah. Now hurry up and let us in. Yeah. Cause we come into your house and people don't smile like a letters in their mouth. I'm the real deal. You know how I feel when I get in for the myth. Sitting for a thrill, get down now. I ain't play around. Put your feet up on the ground and just make that back.
Gotta turn the world into the dance floor. Terminate. Push until you can and then demand more. Terminate. You and me together, we can make it better. Gotta turn the world into your dance floor. Terminate. One more time. Come on and get it going. Come on and get it going. On the dance floor, in the dance floor, terminate.
Oh my gosh, nice job. What a group of fans you all have. It took me forever to get up here to fight them to get to you. Can you introduce yourselves to everybody?
Adam Hicks.
I'm Bridget Mendler. I'm Haley Kiyoko.
I'm Blake Michael.
You guys, I know that there's a big announcement today that you want to make, and it's a big surprise, okay? So I'm going to tell everybody. I'll open it up right here. Exciting, exclusive news for all of your fans today. There is a sequel to Lemonade Mouth in the works. Yes, thanks to Lemonade Mouth here. The CD and the new extended version DVD are both in stores now. Guess what? In addition to that good news, our audience members are going home with a copy. We'll be right back.
Our guests today. And for more information on the Nick Jonas contest we were talking about, check out our website. Thank you guys so much for coming. We loved having you. And the rest of you, have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the view.
The new summer series everyone's talking about is Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition. Monday at 10, 9 Central.